Okay, so I finally, I endured my watching myself for a little bit, and that is, I mean, you'd have to jump to like the 48-minute mark to see what it is I'm talking about. But, I'm gonna dog my mom here for a minute. Um, she calls me, and she doesn't let me talk or say anything. I mean, she'll listen for a little bit, like if it's pertaining to work, but like what I'm doing at work. But she doesn't listen, or she's too busy thinking about what she's going to say in respects to the entire conversation. You can hear it. I start to talk and she just, walks all over me. So it's one of those things that I've kind of like, I'm at work. I don't even really, I didn't really want to talk to her. But you notice in the beginning of the conversation, I asked her, "Do y'all leave for New York?" And she didn't say yes or no. So she just starts talking about whatever, and instead of just saying, "No, we're going to leave tomorrow. Did you happen to get the message about the flowers?" And then she starts going on about an uncle. And I'm like, I don't give a fuck about what that man does. I don't even talk to that man. Yeah. There's that. And then um when she was talking about she started talking about the aunt with it was, I guess, COVID that, you know, took her out. Um, she hadn't, she had called me and I had not explained to her how I was sick. I was like, no, I'm sick, whatever. Oh, well, feel better. I'll call you later. I mean, she was like, quick, on the phone, off the phone. Let me know if you need me to help you with anything, that kind of thing. But as far as like communication goes, this is that's a pure in your face example of what it is like dealing with not so I mean, yeah, she has her communal narcissism. It's all about her. But she does have empathy and she does have sincerity. She just has that, you know, if she doesn't, it's like almost ADD. It's like I inherited this cray cray from her. Um, if she doesn't keep on script what she's programmed in her head to talk to somebody about, she will get fucking squirrely. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So there's some of it I can forgive, some of it I don't. So I mean, and you can see me. I'm sitting there talking to myself, in regards to the job, and she's going on and on. She did not hear a fucking thing I said. Yeah. She didn't ask, so what was it? Did you have, your aunt, died of COVID? Was COVID that you had, or is that what you're getting over? No, she didn't know that it was the fly ash blowing up on me causing an upper respiratory infection. She doesn't know anything about that. And she didn't care. Because, well, while I was sick, you know, my aunt was sick, but no one told us she was sick. They just, the day before she goes into hospice, we get a message that aunt's going into hospice. They didn't tell us why. Sister didn't tell me why. She's the one, like the lifeline of the family. I've been down, I've been out of the state of New York. I've been back, I can say, I can count on both hands and feet since I graduated high school and left 33 years ago. How many times I've been back there. So, and I've only gone to a certain degree. I mean, I got family scattered across the entire fucking state. I've gone to like one region. I didn't go visit the whole state. I've gone here, saw friends, or I went over there, saw family, but there's only one time that I actually made it. Did family and friends. Once in 33 years. It's pretty sad. I was sitting there psychoanalyzing, the whole, family dynamic and how children estrange their parents and how sometimes parents estrange the entire family, and if their kids don't reach out, parents don't reach out either. It's just like they're like, whatever. Go on. I know the phones work both ways. But once you get to a point, and this is the alibi for injury, in regards to communication breakdown amongst family members and or associates or acquaintances or people that you knew in high school and things like that. I think, I think that's why I don't get on Facebook anymore. People had used, and I used it when I was in the military, is Facebook as a means of communication. You know what's going on with me by the stuff that I post. And you can see how I'm doing by the stuff that I post. There's no intimate conversation like how you feeling, are you seeing anybody, how's your relationship, how's your mental health. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. The world has become transparent and isolating at the same time. So the video of me working where I got the copyright gig in Russia and Belarus, like I give a fuck. You can hear at the end of it where, my mom is talking about, everything. And the only thing that she listened to in any intensity was me telling her about the job that I was working on. But as far as how I got sick or how, what worked for me and things like that, after I had clicked it off, she had told me, I need to come and get some citrus bergamot and, whatnot. I need my other sister. It's like, I can't afford this anymore. I can turn her on to the stuff, give her samples, but she needs to start buying that shit herself if she's going to be taking it. I've got my own stash. That kind of thing. It's like, here, try this for 30 days. Go back, get blood work done, see what happens. That kind of thing. It's, so when she's talking about her own personal problems, in that regard, but, given my aunt was 99 years old and her granddaughter was taking care of her, and she was deaf for a doornail. She couldn't hear shit. We were at my mom's birthday. And so, with that being said, she couldn't hear me when I was like, can you remember which one I am? And she looked up at her granddaughter, was like, huh? Yeah. I was like, yeah, she's not going to be around much longer. I don't know if she's going to make it to 100. Now, my other aunt, I don't know if she's going to make it to 100 either. She was 98. My great aunt on my dad's side, 98. My great aunt on my mom's side, 99. These two women are so cute. Anyway, they were both there. They're both getting taken care of by their grandkids. So, anyway, that gives you an idea of how my upbringing was. There was no talking to her about school or things that happened at school, or stuff like that. Her brain was, she wasn't ever listening. My stepdad was listening in. You could hear him a little bit at the end. He was probably more interested in what I was working on than she was. So that's why she was entertaining it. It's because he wanted to hear what was going on with the job. Because he does construction. Anyway. If there was ever a person that could say that was proud of me, it's him. That's disturbing.